Hello and welcome to DFS Coach Talk. It is Saturday, September the 17th, 2022. I am Joe Sarvati, affectionately known as Coach, and I am joined by the one and only magician of MLB baseball and NFL football, the one and only Josh Crash Davis. Crash, how are you on this busy DFS Saturday?
I'm doing well, Coach. I'm doing well. You know, we would have been doing a lot better yesterday if we would have gotten off of one of our least favorite plays in Robbie Ray. And why we went to that when we know what he does in those kind of situations, it's a tough one.
I was so mad last night.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, because it's guys that stung us or guys that we usually fade. So it was like a double gut punch. But you know what, though? Like I posted this morning, that's behind us. That the beauty of DFS is it's a new day. So, you know, if you did really crappy, like we did yesterday, it's over. Now we get revenge today. Mm-hmm. And then what you have to remember is when you crush it, you can't just coast in like, you know, you've got a lead because it's a zero for everybody. So new slate today, 9-game main slate, no weather issues, no kooky Coors or Wrigley games. So we've got a real true good slate tonight. You know, everybody's thinking NFL for tomorrow. We've got all that fish money swimming over to MLB. I am really fired up, Crash. I am pumped for this podcast tonight. I'm pumped for this slate.
Yeah, definitely, Coach. I'm ready.
I want to say hello to those jumping in so far. Hopefully we get a bunch of people coming in. We've got the doubleheader podcast tonight, 5 p.m. here. We're doing the MLB, and then we come back at 8 for the NFL podcast for tomorrow, and Steven will join us for that one. So quick hello to Disclaimer was in there. I don't know if he's back in or not, but hello to him, Nathan Feudy, Rodney Pollard, JT, Sasha Donahue. Is that someone new? Hey, I love the show. I don't know. Have we seen Sasha in there?
I don't think so. I don't recognize the name now.
It doesn't ring a bell.
Yeah, maybe they have been, but I don't remember the name.
Well, Sasha, if it's your first, welcome. It says you enjoy the show, so I would assume you've watched in the background before, but glad to have you in there. If we haven't noticed you before, we certainly see you now. Feeling the pain, our man's in there, king of all trades, the little monster, king of smack, of course. Everybody's in there. So Sasha, yeah, she's listened in the background, but not commented. It is so great to have you join us. We are going to crush this slate tonight. I'm just telling you right now, get ready because Coach is pissed off and ready to roll tonight. I've got my picks ready. I've scoured this sucker. I know Crash is ready, and it is a great slate. What we're going to do today is on this podcast, we were going to give away 2 tickets, but I was thinking there was a $5 contest for the millions for DraftKings for tomorrow for the NFL, and it's a $3 contest. So what we're going to do is we're going to give 2 winners, and both winners get 2 tickets. So that's $6 each. 2 freebie swats at the Big Millie Maker on the NFL contest tomorrow. So we're going to give one away halfway through the pod, one towards the end. And again, if you win, just shoot us, tweet us, DM us at DFS Coach Talk with your PayPal email, and we will shoot that right to you. Corey Miller, what's up? Let's see, went crazy with he messaged about one of your new guys. Apparently, what happened? I don't know what happened.
Oh, wow. I don't know.
What does that mean with
whatever has your Twitter?
I'm not sure. You'll have to let us know what that means, Corey. But you know, if that has to do with the new person that we had brought on, they're no longer with us. So we made a decision there to move on, because one thing here at Coach Talk, and for those that are members and have watched for a long time, what means the most to us by far is our reputation, and just we shoot straight, we're fair, we're honest. That means more to us than everything else combined. So not saying that other person wasn't those things. It's just we felt that we needed to move on. So if that's what that has to do with, then that is no longer an issue. Alan Hayes, I don't recognize that name either. That could be somebody new. So welcome, Alan. Fantastic to have you there. Bankroll Theories jumping in. We're getting some baseball momentum here, Crash. I think we're going to have a really good group tonight. So we'll give away those tickets, and then we're going to give away 5 sets of 2 tickets, the $3 tickets for the Millie Maker tomorrow on the NFL podcast at 8. So this is like Christmas here in September at Coach Talk. And I have a huge surprise for the NFL pod tonight. So I'm going to let it out of the bag here because we have a fairly small group in here to start out, but I'm going to share this with the group. If you have not tried out DFS Coach Talk before and you listen to the podcast and you'd love to just check it out and see what it's all about, and you haven't done it yet, if you tune in to the NFL podcast at 8 p.m. Eastern tonight with myself and Steven and Crash, everybody that is on that podcast is going to get a free week of DFS Coach Talk. No strings attached, no payments, no nothing. There's going to be a link. Our man Brett, who handles all of our internal stuff for us, is going to be in there with a link. So if you want to try out Coach Talk for a week for free, jump back on that podcast at 8, and that link will be posted, and you'll be in there with the family to try us out for a week. So we want to expand. We've had such great fun on these podcasts, but we have a lot of people that have not tried out Coach Talk. So we want to give you a chance to see what we're all about. So that's what we're going to do today. And that was Deb's idea. So big shout out to at Deluxe. She came up with the idea. I think it's a great one. So that's going to be exciting. Raider 7, hopefully you'll be one of the people to take us up on that and check us out as well. All right, Crash, we need to dive into this and go after it. This is going to be a fun one. And we've got 9 games, no weather issues whatsoever. And I think we just got to get started here. First game, 7:10 p.m. Eastern. It is the Pittsburgh Pirates I'm skipping one. It's the Oakland Athletics at the Houston Astros. I don't want to get out of order here. That they moved the sheet around here on me. So it is a 7:10 game in Houston. 8 is the total, 2.86 implied for Oakland, 5.14 for the Astros. Good total for them. The total is 8 in this game. Cole Irvin, the lefty, 6.1K against Jose Urquidy, 7.7K. And he did quitty on us last time. Sorry, bad joke, but he is a quittier. That's all I can tell you. You're not going back to Urquidy, I hope.
No.
Good.
No, definitely
What's
not.
your take on this first game on the slate?
I like Houston. I think they're going to be pretty chalky. That's the only thing about them. But I do like Houston. Your man Alvarez is back on track. My gosh, 3 home runs last night.
How about that, man?
Unreal. And really good BVP against Irvin. It's lefty-lefty, so a lot of people
was my HR call,
Was he?
Wasn't he?
I was thinking he was some kind of call of yours, but
I know I called an HR for him, but I don't know. I thought he was my HR. You know what? I have my notes here. I can look. No, he was not my HR call.
Okay, yeah, I didn't think.
Raphael,
but I know you said you're going to go back to him because you felt like he was ready to get back on track. Which, my gosh, he definitely was. Between him and Chapman, I mean, we had 5 home runs. So
Chapman was a great call on your part. I mean, he was the BVP guy. I mean, he just absolutely kills them. So that was a good call there for sure.
But I like in this matchup, I like Diaz in the 2-hole there. He's batting in the 2-hole tonight, the righty-lefty matchup. So Diaz, I like a lot. I think he'll probably be one of the lower-owned bats for Houston, I'm hoping. But, yeah, I like him a lot tonight.
And as far as Houston being a chalky stack crash, let's see where we're projecting right now. Right now, they're only fifth on the ownership projections.
Not bad.
8.5% is all on DraftKings,
Yeah,
so
that's
that's
not bad
not
at all.
chalky. On FanDuel, it's not quite as much. It's a little worse for you, 12.6%, which happens to be the second highest stack ownership, and they are third on Yahoo at 11.1. But I wouldn't consider any of those numbers chalky.
No, I wouldn't either. I
So
definitely
you
wouldn't.
can get away with, some ownership there, no doubt. So are you, 2, 3, 4 deep? What are you thinking on the Astros?
Yeah, probably. Diaz, Bregman, Alvarez, Altuve. Yeah, probably three, four of those guys in my cash. I have a little bit more contrarian for my GPP, but I think the Astros are going to be my cash, stack, if you will.
Absolutely. Hey, Jim, how you doing, man? Great to have you in there with us. And we do appreciate if you hit that thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. Click the little alert if you're on YouTube. As Jim said there, that means makes a big difference for us. It moves us up that algorithm on YouTube. If you're watching us live on Twitter, like and retweet so we have some other folks that can jump in and check it out as well. Good to see you in there, Jim. I think Houston's in a good spot. I don't disagree with you there. Their bats are a little expensive, though. That's one thing that, that commitment to the price range there is tough because you got Altuve at the top at 6. Even though Diaz is nice in the 2-hole, 3.9 isn't exactly a giveaway.
No.
And then you have my man Jordan 6.4, Bregman 5.5, Tucker 5.5. So
right.
That's the only thing that scared me a little bit. I don't like Irvin or the A's in this game by any stretch, but I just don't think I want to commit that much salary to Houston. So it's going to be more of a one-off situation for me rather than a stack. I don't like Urquidy, but I don't like the A's. So not a lot of exposure in this first game for me, Crash.
Yeah, Diaz is a little more pricey over on DraftKings. He's only $2,000 on Fanduel, so it's a lot more affordable over there. So I like him there.
Half price basically. So there you go.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a great play on Fanduel then.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into game 2, Pittsburgh Pirates and the New York Mets. I tried jumping to that game. I was so excited to get to this game. It is at 7:10 as well, 71 beautiful degrees in New York. A little breeze blowing out to left at 9 miles an hour. Bryce Wilson, 5.2K for the Pirates. Chris Bassett, 9.7K for the Mets. A paltry 2.72 implied total for the Buccos. 5.28, nice aggressive total for the Mets. And I will say one of my 2 pitchers that I like on this slate, I don't have a true value pitcher, although I think Bassett is slightly underpriced. So I'm buying up for both pitchers for my main lineup, and Chris Bassett is one of the guys that I'm going to be utilizing. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say he had, stubbed his toe a little bit in this last game against the Cubs, but that's all right. He only had 73 pitches. It's not like he got completely crushed. He just gave up a couple of gopher balls. We'll give him a pass on that. But you look at the games prior to that, the game before that when he pitched against Pittsburgh, 7 innings, 1 earned run, 10 Ks, 58 FanDuel points. All he's got to do is get close to that. Several good games prior to that, he had won 6 decisions in a row before that Cubs stumble. And he's only 9,700 on DraftKings and FanDuel, 45 on Yahoo. And the Pirates are second in Major League Baseball in strikeouts against right-handers. So I absolutely love this spot for Bassett. I think he goes deep. He often pitches over 100 pitches. And the fact that he's coming off a game where he only pitched 73, I think they're going to just let him get into a groove and get it done. So in this game, Bassett's certainly my top play. Not interested in any Pirates. The Mets are interesting, but they're not one of my top stacks, but I will have some exposure. 1 or 2 guys from the Mets will make my lineup.
Yeah. Yeah, I like Bassett. He's a little bit higher owned than I would have thought he would have been after what happened in the last matchup. But I think everybody's looking at what he did against the Pirates last time, and that's pushing his ownership up quite a bit. Plus, like you said, he's been pretty solid this year, especially at home. And I like the same matchup that I called yesterday with Vogelback going up against his former team. You know, he hit one out last night, and I could see him doing it again today.
Okay. As far as the ownership on Bassett, let's take a quick look at that. He's second highest owned on DraftKings at 35%, which is a little bit high, but it's against the Pirates. He is the highest owned at 24% on Fanduel. So a little chalky, I get it. And Yahoo, same thing. That's where it really stings because he's only 45. He's 37% owned there. But it's okay. You know, sometimes you got to eat some chalk. I mean,
yeah,
it's not like he's enormously chalky. I just think he's in a great spot, and I don't want to have to chase those points where, you know, there are guys here that can get smoked that are still pretty expensive.
True.
So the ownership's not my favorite thing, but it's not to the point of a leverage situation, I think, where you have to stack against him or anything like that.
Right. I agree.
Anything else from this game for you?
No, that's about it. Yeah, I like I do like Tyler Naquin as well. That's another one of the lefties from the Mets that I like on this game.
Gotcha. I think he's always danger to go deep. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, next one. And this game will be interesting for you, that's for sure. 7-10 Yankees Brewers, probably the roof open in Milwaukee again. They've been having it open recently. 7.5's the total there. 3.47 implied for the Yanks. 4.03 for the Brewers, who are a minus 143. Mr. Woodruff getting all kinds of respect here. Jamison Tyon, 7.3K against Brandon Woodruff, 9.5K. And the Yankees are sticking with that lineup up top with Judge leading off, Stanton second, Torres third, Donaldson, Andujar, Cabrera, Peraza, Higashioka. I can't say it.
Higashioka.
Yeah, I'm not going to try. Higgy bats eighth, Gonzalez ninth. And then for your Brewers, it's Yelich, Adames, Tellez, Renfroe, Wong, McCutchen, Peterson, Caratini, who I know you like to go to on occasion, and your buddy that had the big winner yesterday, Mr. Garrett Mitchell.
Yeah, man, what a game last night. That was such a crazy game. I couldn't believe we won that game. I mean, we were down 5-0, you know, right off the bat. So
amazing.
Yeah. It's an interesting matchup. You know, you've got Woodruff, who hasn't really faced these Yankees before. And then you have Jamison Tyon, who's faced these Brewers when he was with the Pirates. So I like Yelich. He's probably my favorite Brewer today. I think I kind of want to go back to Rowdy Tellez after he let me down last night. I kind of like him again. So
yeah.
And then on DraftKings, I do like Caratini because he's like 2,100. So you can do worse than that. Yeah.
So no pitching. You're not going to Woodruff here.
I'm not going to Woodruff. I don't really have anything against him. I like the two pitchers that I landed on more than him in this matchup.
So some Brewers bats, any Yankees one-offs against Woodruff?
Maybe Judge, but I don't think I'm going to get to him salary-wise. I could see Judge hitting a home run tonight. I really think he will.
6.5K. I keep saying it though. I don't see why they pitched to him, especially the way Stanton's swinging the bat. So
yeah, they pitched around him quite a bit last night. I mean, we got that 1.5 walks prop, and I think he hit it in the second inning. So
yeah, I think you're going to see that the rest until somebody starts hitting, but right behind him. Now Torres is hit decently, but not Stanton. So I would assume that he's going to continue to get pitched around. And I mean, that's a killer. If you spend 6.5K for him and he's not getting a pitch to hit, that drives you nuts. So
yeah, they've got Woodruff on that. I just checked PrizePicks. I hadn't checked it yet. They've got him on that prop again. So you can go back to it. 1.5 walks.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Well, in this game, it's an interesting game here. I'm not going Woodruff. I might go a one-off here and there for the Yanks. Same thing for the Brewers. I just think it's going to be a hotly contested game. But that my HR calls in this game though, Crash.
Oh yeah.
I think Hunter Renfroe goes deep today.
Okay.
He's 4 for 10 against Tyon, which again, I know it's very tiny, but he's homered off him already. 1,200 OPS, 800 slugging, 400 OBP in average. And I think he's going to be a sneaky play today, low owned, and I think he takes Tyon deep.
I like that, Coach. I like it.
It's a weird call, but a good one. I wish I would have called Alvarez yesterday instead of Devers. Now that makes me mad, but maybe today I get a couple of dongs out of Renfroe. I think you'd accept that outcome.
Definitely,
no doubt. All right. Anything else in Discord? Any questions? Milwaukee bats tonight. Woodruff gonna crush once he gets past 1 through 3. All right. Is King of Smack another Brewers fan, Crash?
I can't remember. I think he might be.
I think so. Polar Bear HR tonight from Corey Miller. That very well could be. I've gone to him quite a bit. He's super cheap on Yahoo all the time. So I keep finding Alonso in my lineup. He's like $12, $11, $12. So we will see. I like the call though. Renfroe wants Renfroe dongs. Yeah, let's do it. All right. Next one, Crash. Let's keep this train moving. We've got the Minnesota Twins at the Cleveland Guardians. 78 degrees in Cleveland. It's warm for Cleveland for mid-September.
Right.
Wind blowing out to right center, 8 to 10 miles an hour. 8.5. Nice, healthy total in Vegas for this game. 4 implied for Minnesota. 4.5 for the Cleveland Guardians. 2 young pitchers, unproven. Josh, is it Winder or Winder?
I think it's Winder.
I think so too. Josh Winder, 7.1K against Connor Pilkington, 7.6K, the lefty. So what is your stance on this wonderful game in Cleveland?
I really don't have anything on this game. I know Jose Ramirez, he hit a home run already today, but he has some pretty good BVP against Winder. And that's really about all I had written down for this. I don't have a lot on it.
All right. Well, I'll spend time on this game because this is the most important game on the slate for me. Very seldom do my top 2 teams that I'm stacking come from the same game, but this is a scenario where that's what it is. So I love the over 8.5 if you're playing the game. I love both hitting squads here. And because I'm stacking both sides and I'm going to have some 3v3, 2-3, some different plays, this will be the key game. But listen to these lineups. The Twins are leading off my man, Jose Miranda. How about that?
Wow. Yeah.
So, Miranda, Correa, Urshela, Sanchez, Celestino, Gordon, Palacios, and not positive who's going to bat 8th yet. They have a scratch mark there, so we'll see who it's going to be. And then Billy Hamilton. How about that?
Oh, wow.
At the bottom of that lineup. He's alive and well. And then on the Cleveland side, it's Juan, Rosario, Ramirez, Naylor, Gonzalez, Miller, Benson, Maley, and Freeman. So I love the value here. Super cheap. I can take basically anybody I want from both sides. Ramirez is 6K. I'll give you that. That's a tough one. But Juan, Rosario, Naylor, Gonzalez, Miller, all pretty cheap. Miranda at 3.5 leading off. Lock him in. Urshela's only 3.2. He's been hitting. Sanchez catcher spot if you want to go there.
Right.
But Celestino 2K min batting 5th. Gordon, who's hit. I think even though he's lefty on lefty here, he can hit lefties. He's only 3K. I love this game, Crash, and it's not getting any popularity in the stacks. Considering, it's okay. But let's, I'll give you a quick look at that because I'm putting myself out there on this game. Let's see here. The stack for on the DraftKings side, guess what? They're 1 and 2 in ownership. So I lied. They are getting ownership on DraftKings.
I was going to say, I think they are on DraftKings. On FanDuel, they're not as much. Yeah.
That's why are they so incredibly different today?
Probably the pricing. It's got to be the pricing.
So Minnesota, I mean, I wouldn't say chalky, 17% for Minnesota and 14.4% for Cleveland. So 1-2. All right, I'll give you that. But FanDuel was where I was initially looking. Minnesota or Cleveland is third, only 12%, and Minnesota's fourth at only 11%. I mean, that's not a lot. And then when you look on Yahoo, let's see, Yahoo, I don't even see them on Yahoo. Why? Why are they not in the stack numbers? Are they not? Oh, they're not on Yahoo.
They may not be on
the second game of a doubleheader.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
You can't play. So I can't do my double stack on Yahoo, and that's where I crush it. So little change of direction in that game, but based on that ownership, I think they're under-owned in a game that I think there'll be a lot of runs. I don't like either pitcher. I could go in depth with both of them. They're young, unproven. I don't know how deep they go. Both of these teams, I think they're going to get after it. And this is going to be the key game on the slate for me.
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
All right. I got to adjust my Yahoo preliminaries here, though. That's going to change some things. All right, we'll do one more game, and then we'll give away some free tickets. Cincinnati Reds at St. Louis Cardinals, 7:15 game, 85 warm degrees in St. Louis. Wind blowing out at 8 miles an hour to left, so we could get 699 from Pujols, maybe. You never know.
Yeah.
2.96 implied for the Reds, 4.54 for the Cardinals. Hunter Green, 8.3K against Jose Quintana, the lefty, 8K flat. What do you got here?
I like a few of these Cincinnati bats as some value. I don't really I don't have the salary to play these Cardinals. I went to the Cardinals heavy in the early slate, and I got burned. I sent you that message this morning, how their BVP was just off the charts.
Right.
None of those guys really did anything. So,
jeez.
Yeah. So I got burned by them. I'm gonna take a break on St. Louis tonight. I think they'll probably be pretty high owned, but I'm not gonna go there.
Yeah, I mean, we said it like 20 shows in a row. The Cardinals are gonna have a burst out game, and it just hasn't been happening. At some point, you got to back away. I'm backing away too. So the fact that we're both backing away could mean, blowout for the Cardinals.
It could happen. Yeah. They're so expensive though. I mean,
they are.
You can't even play
the
two best, bats in their lineup together unless you're just going completely bargain hunting for your lineup. So
I mean, Edmund, Goldschmidt, Arenado, 5'5", 6'2", and 5'8", 2-3-4. And then if you take Dickerson in the 5-hole at 2-7, he gets pinch hit for. So I don't know. I'm tired of chasing Cardinals myself. I don't think they're in a bad spot by any stretch, and they certainly have a good implied total, but expensive, just not the spot I want to go. I think a one-off for the Reds is a decent play. Steer in the 2-hole at 2-4 is very tempting. So I think you could grab a red or two as well, but I'll be very little ownership for me in this game.
Well, speak of the devil, we got the lineup. Donovan, Edman, Goldschmidt, Arenado, Dickerson, Burleson, Nootbaar, Gorman, and Kisner. So they're not Pujols isn't in their lineup.
Well, he'll pinch hit. That's
he will
for sure.
pinch hit, so that'll take Dickerson out.
Yeah. One more reason not to go there, in my opinion. But we will see.
No Molina either. He hit a home run in the first game. So, yeah.
Sasha likes St. Louis tonight. And I don't blame you, Sasha. I think it's a smart play. There's no doubt about it. Bev, what's up? Bev's in there. I'm great to see you. Join us. KJ. No way Pujols plays back-to-back. You are absolutely right, KJ. No doubt about it.
I'll I'll make a prediction, Coach. I'll say St. Louis wins and they don't score more than 5 runs.
Wow. Okay. Take
Yeah.
the implied number under St. Louis. That could be a way to go. All right, we're going to give away. If I'm going to do the randomizer for anybody that's commented in chat. If you haven't, this is the time to say hello. We'll hit the randomizer. Whoever gets the selection is going to get 2 tickets, 2 $3 tickets to that $1.5 million contest Millie Maker tomorrow on DraftKings. If your name is called, go to Twitter, DM us at DFS Coach Talk with your PayPal email, and that $6 will float over, and you get your 2 free play shots at the big bucks. And all we ask you to do when you win it is you give us a big shout out. That's all we want. All right. Here comes the button. Zing, 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 boom. The winner is Little Monster. Let's hear it for Little Monster 6098CZU. You have won 2 tickets to the Millie Maker. So shoot us over that information and we will get those out to you, man. If you want to join us on Coach Talk, you really don't have to today, because if you join us at 8:00, if you missed the beginning of the podcast, you join us at 8:00 on the NFL podcast. Everybody that's in there, we're going to have our man Brett jump in and put a link in there, and you're going to get a free week membership, 1 full week of Coach Talk for nothing, just for being at the podcast, checking us out, and getting in there. We want to get some of these awesome people in there. Can you unblock me on Twitter? Corey, I am so sorry that we had that person do that to you.
Yeah, let me get in that right now.
Yeah, if Crash, if you can get him back in there. And Corey, thank you for the heads up on that. That was much appreciated, sir.
What is his
Twitter?
Blank. Yeah.
Corey, if you can put your Twitter in there, Crash will get you taken care of so you can jump back in with us.
Twitter handle. That's what I meant to say.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. King of Smack. Oh, boy from Cali's trying to pick the brain of King of Smack here a little bit on starting pitching. I like it. All right. Back to the games. Philadelphia Phillies at the Atlanta Braves at 7:20 in Atlanta, Fulton County Stadium. 7.5 is the total. 80 warm degrees. No wind to speak of. 3.84 implied for the Phils. 3.66 for the Bravos. The ace, Aaron Nola, 10.1K for the Phillies. Atlanta Braves pitcher is Jake Odorizzi. He is 7K flat. So I'll go after it first. I hear you're clicking, so you're getting him taken care of. So I will give my opinion real quick on this game. I like Aaron Nola, but I'm not going to play him tonight. I just think Atlanta's too dangerous. That lineup is so nasty. I mean, they've got Albies back in there. And listen to this lineup: Acuna, Swanson, Riley, Olsen, Darno, Harris, Contreras, Albies, and Rosario. That is a badass lineup right there. And I like Nola, but this Braves team has hit him. Some of the guys have some great BVP against them. In fact, Crash, my BVP play is in this game, and it is one Ronald Acuna. He is batting. Okay. He's 11 for 32 against Nola for a 344 average. He's gone deep 3 times, and he's walked 7 times. So Nola does not trick him. An 1180 OPS, 719 slugging, 462 OBP, and a 344 average. So, and I'll tell you, the guy that I almost chose over him was Austin Riley. He has just as good a BVP against Nola, but I'm going with Acuna there. And for those reasons specifically, I think that, I'm not going to totally say fade Nola, but I'm not going to play him at that price. I would rather pay up for somebody else that we have not gone over yet. So I'm not going to have any fills that I'm really, fills that I'm attacking this slate with or stacking or anything. But I will have a couple of Braves, and I think Acuna will definitely be one of them. I think he's going to have a really good game here. So that's what I'm looking at in this game, Crash. What about you?
Okay, so Aaron Nola is my fade pitcher.
Ah,
Austin Riley is my home run call. He's got 15 hits and 36 at bats, a 417 average with 3 home runs. Listen to this lineup. You've got Riley, 417, Michael Harris, 400, Acuna, 344, Olson, 333, Rosario, 333, William Contreras, 300. That's most of their lineup.
Yep.
And they are my GPP stack of the day.
Very nice. Stacking against Nola. I mean, I get it and I see it and I don't disagree with it, but I didn't quite have the guts to do it because Nola can get hot and be tough. But I agree with you. I think this just sets up, for a spot where you just don't want to get to him. And I think people are still going to play him. Let's take a look, at Nola since he's your fade and I'm not using him. Where he is, he's still getting a decent chunk of ownership at that 10-1 salary on DraftKings, where he's projected at 25% owned. On Fanduel, 10-6, he's only projected at 12% ownership on the one pitcher site. And then on Yahoo, he's pretty cheap at $45 considering, and he's 4th highest owned there at 28%. So we may be onto something there that could be, get a quarter of the field behind us if Nola does happen to get roughed up at all.
Yeah, I really think this is going to be a great night for the Braves. So I'm hoping. We'll see, but I'm hoping.
Yeah, should be a great game, though, for sure.
It should be, yeah.
All right, we have 3 games left at 8-10. It's the Padres at the Diamondbacks in Arizona, total of 7. Split right down the middle, 3.5 implied for both. Junk Ball Joe Musgrove, 8.4K against Zach Gallen, 9.9K. Any feelers on this game for you with that low 7 total?
Yeah, I'm running like you. I'm running 2 pitchers. Neither one of them are, quote unquote value pitchers, but Zach Gallen is my other favorite pitcher.
Wow.
He scored 40 plus fantasy points in his last 7 starts. And before this last start against Colorado, when he allowed 3 runs, he hadn't allowed a run in 6 straight starts. And I think that San Diego, they had a huge game last night. They scored 12 runs. I think they come back to earth, crash back to earth, honestly. And I think that Gallen holds them to 1 or 2 runs at the most. So
very nice. That's way under that 3.5 implied. That's for sure.
Right.
I'm fading Jumpin' Joe Musgrove here, or Junk Ball Joe, as I say. I don't think people realize he's slumped, man. He's had 3 of his last 4 games have been pretty pathetic. He's given up 5 homers in his last 2 starts. 2 starts. Wow. He gave up 2 homers to the Dodgers and 3 to the Diamondbacks. 19 Fanduel points, where they give you points for chewing gum on the mound.
Right.
His last start, Arizona, he had 10. Had a good game against San Fran, but everybody does when it's like 40 degrees in San Francisco is at San Fran. And he only had 11 Fanduel points against Kansas City. So his strikeouts are way down. He just doesn't look good. And this is a bizarre stat here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15. In his last 16 games where he's taken the mound, how many wins do you think Joe Musgrove has?
16 games?
In the last 16 starts, how many wins for Joe Musgrove?
I mean, I think I'm looking at it right here. It looks like he has 9 wins. He's 9-7.
But he's got 1 win, Crash, since June 16th.
Okay.
Since June 16th, I think that's 15 starts actually. 1 win in 15 starts. That's Joe Musgrove. Yeah. Nobody would believe that that trivia question.
So he won. Yeah. So he won his first like 8. I was wondering how in the world he came to that, but he won like his first 8 starts of the year. And ever
2,
since
4,
then, he's been
6,
losing.
8, 10, 12, 40. And in his first 15 starts, he had 0 losses.
Yeah.
He had some no decisions in there, but he was like 9-0. So he has gone absolutely in the
Bottom.
tank.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
regressed completely. Yeah. It makes a lot of sense.
And here's the thing that I wanted to bring up real quickly. You know, I know he's not highly owned, but there's still 14% people on DraftKings that are going with him. Only 3% on Fanduel, but that it's a one pitcher site, and 20% on Yahoo.
Wow.
So people still have the faith in Junk Ball Joe. I don't know what the deal is.
Yeah. And I like Dalton Varsho if you want to get to an Arizona bat. I like him a lot in this matchup, and McCarthy as well.
I like some of the Diamondback bats. I'll have a couple of those guys in there for sure. Padres a one-off at best for me. You know, their prices are a little high, and they are coming off a good game yesterday. But I think you could go to a bat or 2 at the very most.
Yeah.
All right, 9:05 crash. Dodgers at the Giants. Total is 8. It seems like it's always 59 degrees, doesn't it?
It really does.
They put 59 degrees on every day. It just doesn't matter. And the wind's always blowing out there, but it's swirly winds. I mean, I think they just mail it in every day there, but it's always cold, always tough to hit. 5.24 implied for the Dodgers, which is a lot, and they're getting a lot of ownership in the stack side of things. 2.76 for the Giants. Julio Urias, 9.2K, the lefty for the Dodgers. Then you've got the Josh Brebria and Sean Hille. I don't know.
I think it's Helly. I think the J is silent. So,
I think, I don't think you really need to concern yourself with those guys, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Especially against the Dodgers, but I don't know. Any feel for you in this game? Are you going to some of those Dodgers?
I'd like the Dodgers a lot more if this was in LA. You know, this is such a tough place to hit. You know, that's my only thing. You know, you could probably look at some of the value there with Thompson. I like Thompson and Gallo, I guess. Muncy, he's pretty cheap. But yeah, the top of the lineup, I don't think I'm going to get to those guys. Just too expensive.
I'll tell you, it's tempting though. 8% stack on DraftKings right now, 12% on Fanduel. They are the top stack at 13% on Yahoo, where nobody's really getting much ownership. So, I mean, you know, they certainly could go off in this game against these, you know, lousy pitchers. But again, tough ballpark to hit in, and you hate to spend a ton of salary there. But I'll have some Dodgers exposure. I'd love to try to fit Freddie Freeman in there, but I don't know if I can do it based on positionality, because I want Miranda leading off today. So it gets a little bit tough.
Yeah.
Dodgers are more expensive on DraftKings for sure.
For sure. Yeah.
You can get a break on them on Fanduel and on Yahoo, though, without question. Okay. What else? We got anything else in that game? Is that it?
Not in that game. That's about it. Yeah.
All right. We got the last game on the board then. The Seattle Mariners at the Los Angeles Angels. 74 comfortable degrees in LA. Slight breeze blowing out to left at 9 miles an hour. 3.50 implied for both squads. So you got the low 7 total here. George Kirby at 8K versus Shohei Ohtani at 10.4K. What do you say? I
do like Shohei. I didn't get to him in my lineups, but I do like Shohei in this matchup. And you know, if he was going to be hitting, I mean, he is going to be hitting, but if he was going to get points,
you can't roster him.
You could go to him as a hitter too. But I do like Trout. I like Trout to hit a home run in this game. He's not my home run call, but I do think he'll hit a home run.
6.2K. Shohei's my other pay up pitcher. I'm gonna match him up with Bassett. I feel really comfortable with that. I said it on the podcast the other day, and I'll say it again today. Seattle's bats are overrated. I like the top of that. I'm with you. Rodriguez, France. I like those guys, but listen to this order here and tell me that this scares you. All right, you got Rodriguez, great, France, but then it's Santana third, Winkers cleanup, Cal Raleigh fifth, Crawford, Frazier, Haggerty, and Toro. That's not a good lineup.
Definitely not the strongest lineup out there.
No, it's not a good lineup for them. And here's the thing: I mentioned this the other day. Do you know that they're 26th out of 30 teams in average 228 as a team?
Wow.
They don't hit. And people think this team is so good. They're not that great. And I think this is a great spot for Shohei. He's added a fifth pitch to his arsenal, and this dude is such a freak of nature. It's not even funny. He throws a 97-mile-an-hour slider, Crash.
Oh, I know.
It's just insane.
Yeah.
So I just think he's in a terrific spot. I think he leads the slate in DFS points today. He's my lock and load top pitcher. He's 10-4 on both DraftKings and Fanduel and 51 on Yahoo. So he's not super cheap or anything, but I don't think he's getting respected on the ownership side, in my opinion. Anyway, if we look at the pitching ownership, he's fifth on DraftKings at 21%, which is very fair. He's fifth on FanDuel at 10%.
I know.
On FanDuel. And on Yahoo, he is second at 30%. But still, it's Ohtani against a team I think he can dominate. And I feel really great about it. As far as Kirby, he's okay. And I do like an angel bat here and there, not a stack, but wouldn't mind getting to one or two if they're there. So, all right. Well, glad everything's cool with you, Corey. I absolutely appreciate you. All right. Any other questions? Throw them into chat. We're going to give away the other two tickets now. So, if you're in there, give a mention so that we can do the spin the wheel here, and we can get a second winner. All right. This is for two tickets. If you're selected, go to Twitter at DFS Coach Talk and send over your PayPal email so we can send it to you. The winner is Niles Simmons. Niles Simmons, you are the winner of two tickets to the DK Millie Maker tomorrow. Congratulations, my friend. All right. Let's do let's review our selections first, and then we'll do our prize picks and Boom Fantasy, and then we'll get on down the road so everybody can get some lineups together. All right. First, my pay up pitchers today, I'm putting together as opposed to putting a value play in there. I love Ohtani and Bassett 1-2. I'm fading Junk Ball Joe Musgrove. My BVP play is Ronald Acuna Jr. I'm hoping your buddy Hunter Renfroe goes deep. And I'm stacking two teams in the same game. I love Minnesota, Cleveland, lots of runs. Game 2 of the doubleheader. Bullpens are tired. Lots of ding-dongs and nice warm temperature in Cleveland. That's where I'm going with my selections today. What about you, Crash? What about your review?
Yep, I've got Zach Gallen and Chris Bassett as my pitchers. And then I have for my BVP play, I have Yordan Alvarez. I don't know if I even said that, but yeah, Yordan Alvarez is my BVP.
Okay.
Home run call is Austin Riley. My top stacks are Atlanta and the Mets. And my that's everything. Yep.
That's everything. All right. I'll give you my top two plays on Prize Picks. I've already got all four of mine listed in Discord. If you're a member, just go to the channel that says Prize Picks and you'll see my selections there. My top two are Joe Musgrove under 31.5 fantasy score. Again, this is a guy that has one win since June 16th and has really been struggling. I think I've got him projected at 25. So that's 6.5 under his prize picks. So I'm going under Joe Musgrove, 31.5 fantasy score. And here's a sneaky guy that I forgot to mention that I like today, Wander Franco. He is, I have him over 1.5 projected hits and walks.
Okay.
So wanted to mention him.
Yeah, I've got my PrizePicks plays are Austin Riley over 7 fantasy score.
That's
like
low.
I said, he's my home run call. Yeah, I think that's pretty low. Chris Bassett over 38.5 fantasy score. We mentioned he had 58 last time he pitched against the Pirates in Pittsburgh. And then I have my Boom Fantasy plays, which did you give yours yet or no?
No, go ahead. You can do it.
Yeah, my Boom Fantasy plays it's going to be under the Pick'em toss-ups category. Zach Gallen over 5 strikeouts and Mike Trout over 1.5 total bases.
Very nice. My Boom Fantasy picks, and I'd like to thank Boom Fantasy for being our presenting sponsor of this podcast today. And if you want to try Boom Fantasy out, go check it out. The link is connected right here in our bio with this podcast on. We have it listed everywhere on our website if you go to dfscoachtalk.com. But if you're watching right now on YouTube or Twitter, the link is attached. Same thing on TikTok if you catch us there. My two Boom Fantasy picks today. I hate to pick on the poor old guy, but Joe Musgrove, I'm going over 2.5 earned runs is my one play. And the second play is Shohei Ohtani under 1.5 earned runs. So those are my two plays for Boom Fantasy for this main slate on Saturday, September the 17th. All right, Crash, any final thoughts here? Really do appreciate everybody jumping in. We had a nice group in here today for baseball. I thought people are forgetting baseball, but this is a pretty solid group.
Yeah, definitely. And people have football on their minds and they have college football. So definitely take this amount of people today. That's really good. Yeah. Yeah.
Great stuff. And again, one final thing, if you can jump in, even if you want to just jump in for a short time, if you're not playing football for some reason tomorrow, I don't know why you wouldn't, because NFL DFS is so awesome there. But jump in at 8:00 for Crash and Steven and myself. And you will have a link in there where you'll be able to jump aboard at DFS Coach Talk for a free week to check us out. We want to share the love with our podcast listeners because we enjoy you guys so much every day. Thank you for the great compliments here, Little Monster, Jim Parrish, Bev, the whole group. We really do appreciate you. So let's absolutely crush it tonight. Like I said, I'm ticked off from my garbage lineup yesterday. I really feel positive. This is probably going to be a 4.5 crowns slate for me, Crash, unless something changes. We rate from 1 to 5. I'm not going to go 5 just because I'm got my tail between my legs from yesterday, but I like it a lot and enough to feel really good with Shohei and Bassett leading the way to make it a 4.5 crowner for me. Do you have an early slate ranking, Crash?
Yeah, I'll probably go 4. I mean, that's,
I knew it.
I always seem to go with that, but I just, unless I really, really like a slate, I have a hard time getting to 4.5 and especially 5. But yeah, it's a solid 4 for me for sure. Just because, with what I've put together, I could see, where Nola has a shutout or something or slows down the Braves and it's a rough night. But I don't really think that's going to happen. I think the Braves are going to get to him, and I like the plays that you've put out there too. So yeah, it's a solid 4.
Outstanding, man. Well, it's going to be a fun one. Good luck against the Yanks tonight. You'll have a lot of fun watching that one, I'm sure.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
All right, my friends, appreciate all of you again, and we'll see you, I guess, in like 2 hours and 5 minutes on the football side. And good luck tonight. Let's get those lineups in. I will be shuffling around on Yahoo for those that do play Yahoo, because I'm a big Yahoo guy. The fact that I can't use my stacks, Minnesota and Cleveland, I will be moving some things around there, and I'll probably grab some Mets and Dodgers to make that those guys up. So thanks, everybody. Appreciate you. Have a great evening. We'll see you here on the football side in a couple hours. Have a great one. We'll be back. I will be back tomorrow. We're not giving up baseball. We're here for you. None of the other providers are doing baseball tomorrow. Everybody just does football. I'm going to be here all by myself, 11 o'clock. Don't let it be me and like one person. Last week, we had a group of you show up. Come in and join me, 11 a.m. tomorrow, right in the middle of all the preparation for football. I'm going to do a nice little MLB podcast and give you out some winners and get you ready for that too. Remember, the first 3 weeks specifically, I have got 7 or 8 years of winning in baseball when we get that fish money over for football, especially on Sunday. So join me tomorrow at 11. Thanks, guys. Have a great evening, and we will see you tomorrow when we look to crush it in MLB DFS, PrizePicks, and Boom Fantasy.